what we usually do in our classes, we video record the classes and put them on our YouTube channel. It's very helpful for students who should not be taking notes, so you can actually go back and take a look at presentations or discussions and all that. Huge success as an internal service to our students. Great for review from the past session. Also great for a review in some of the classes that are more lecture-based and interactive discussion than 50 pages of reading. Yeah? Different types of studying and learning. In this class, as a result of some weird lighting and bad camera angle, what we decided, or I came up with, is I'm doing this screen capturing. That means if you watch that video and I'm far, far away, you can see that the microphone talking right now, like on the green bar. It might not pick up my voice when I'm here or far in the end of the room. On my laptop. Yeah? So there might be some moment of audio quality dropping. Not a heart attack level issue. Okay? CPR certified as an instructor, so we get a heart attack on computers, I might be able to help. The important part is we're doing this class as really, really hands-on and applied. There is some theory in the lectures. It's just simple basics. If you talk about music and your stereo, you have a basic understanding if you take a cassette audio tape or a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever is hip right now. SoundCloud is probably old enough again. Yeah? I try to do this hands-on with as little as painful theory there is. If you would be a geography major right now, the textbook, this one here, would be the theory of map projections and how you put the 3D curvature of the Earth into a 2D plane to look at it. We are doing this in probably 20 minutes and half an hour. Because I want you to understand there is different transformation and projections and how tricky they can be, but not at this level of class where it's more important how to get data together and visualize it versus have the most correct distance measure between LA and New York and not varying by 10 or 15 miles or 200 miles. Yeah? Because we're doing all things on local level. Speaking of the book traditionally comes with 180 days trial license. Do not use this trial license. Why? Because we are supplying you with a license from the book for the software. Yeah, there's different licensing levels available. That's the reason why you got those emails about the GIS lab fee and lab account. Why? Because this is an account I attach to you through the cloud, and you can use that on any of the computers ArcGIS is installed, even at home if you have a PC. If you have a Mac, there are different ways to emulate Windows software on a Macintosh or on Apple. It's a PC-based software. I cannot do this in another way. On that note, we'll send you an email with the correct schedule. As we figured out this morning, there is some discrepancies right now in the understanding when is what open. Class time is 8 till 12 on Saturday morning. I put in a GIS Open Lab study lab hours every weekday starting at 6 o'clock until an hour before close of the library. I think I put in 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening. For those who do not have in any form the capability to do the software at home, there are every evening hours to do so. I changed the format of this class, meaning there is no assignment no assignments during the next 6 weeks you have to do from home or in this classroom. What you need to do is practice, 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 because I moved the homework assignment into a in-class quiz environment. Yeah? So we're all together sitting in here for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and doing a blind quiz, as in, here's a sheet, download the data, do an exercise, fill out the sheet, maybe package up the data and upload it back to Canvas. We will train all of this. My philosophy on my classes is, if I haven't demonstrated it with you and worked it with you, I'm not going to test it. Schedule today says Techno Bootcamp. Yep. It's not techno like the German music, like nope. We're going to do this as in how to actually literally download a zip file and open it. Believe me, last year, brilliant students grew up on Apple software. They never had the experience of a Windows-based system in front. Yeah. So if you're a perfect PC person, it will take a minute or two to do this exercise. If you never had that, it will take a minute or two to demonstrate that. Okay? My job here is not to make your life miserable, but to teach you to excellence. GIS is a complex, crazy software. There is nothing else out there that you can compare that to. For those who have had my ArcGIS class, ArcGIS Enterprise and ArcGIS Developer, I keep saying, well, ArcGIS Enterprise is like Excel spreadsheets on steroids. This is different. This is a different animal. There are not many people that do this. There are a little bit more people who understand what GIS is, Geographic Information Systems. The easiest explanation is Google Maps is the tip of the iceberg. Real GIS is below the surface. I've done this more than 2 decades now. 4 years, fully funded fellowship on GIS. I did 5 maps in 4 years. And 2 maps have been for the Christmas party. As in fill out the neighborhood names as a quiz. Been down the road for asset inventory management and infrastructure, emergency management. Yeah. All the time, it's just that XYZ, the dot on the map, and a ton of databases attached to it. So, scary data. Alright, so what we're going to do today. If you have questions, please let me know. We have enough time. I try to do this with an increasing pace in this class. So we're starting very easy and relaxed with a few things. Next week, we're going to review this. And you should be able to do that. Think about Excel. If I say, hey, wait a minute, this is how we do a sum of 20 different fields. This is how you use the AutoSum function. I will demonstrate that in an easy way. Next week, I'm saying, okay, over this range, we're doing an AutoSum. And you're like, what was this again? We'll repeat. It's a hands-on applied class. In terms of lab hours, I would think you should consider maybe 2, if not 3 hours in addition to that, playing with the software. This is like an instrument or going for a jog or run in the morning. You can't run a marathon or just a 5K if you haven't practiced anything. So, words of wisdom. Gotta play with it. There are lots of fun buttons you can click on. 10 years, 15 years ago, I would say, do not click on this button until I tell you, because the system would die on you, you would have this Windows blue screen. Here, a little bit different. I do encourage you guys to click on things you have no idea what's hiding behind that door. Because that's part of how you explore an unknown software. It's also like, take a look at the book. There are pages in the back that help you to find things, functions, and themes. Okay? Good. Enough talking. Let's do a quick overview here. Again, this is Geographic Information Systems in the Real Estate Development Program. If you think this is a biology class, you're in the wrong classroom. Okay? So, what we're doing now is I'm going to do a quick... What was that? Okay. We're doing a quick overview how I structured the class. And then we're making sure that we are all getting ready on the technology and having some fun. Main part today is introduction on a little bit theory and the framework to get you a little bit hyped up about all the things we will do and explore and show those things. A little bit 3D stuff, which we will do in a few weeks. Not to scare you away, but more likely to open up the doors to a candy store and say, this is what we're going to see. This is what we're going to have as flavors. Pretty straightforward. Office hours, contact information, office hours. Wednesdays 3 till 5, Thursdays 2 till 4. I know the majority of my students are professional, involved in the workforce. I can meet by appointment if needed. There are a lot of things we can talk about on the phone or via email. James, as an example, had an issue with his software. So he sent me a screenshot. And I'm like, oh, piece of cake. And sent five sentences back. So this is a software that builds also on visuals. So if something goes wrong with a form or a menu, screenshot that thing. Nothing easier than screenshot with the software, or take out your phone, bing, send it to me and say, hey, those are the issues. If this is a class system issue, I will post to the whole class back, not just to a single student. Particularly in the first 8 days of 10 days of class, until you really know what's going on with the software, it's helpful. Send me an email. I have Laurel. Hi Laurel, how are you doing? I saw your reply to the announcement that went out to the whole class like yesterday late afternoon. So if you think this is personal conversation, send me an email straight. I prefer email with email, not through Canvas. There have been some hiccups, and I want to make sure that I can deliver a fast and feasible response to you. So you're not sitting there for 3 days and like, did he get it? Or does he like me? Or is he out of the country? No. I want to be as service-oriented as possible with my responses to you. It's 8 weeks. A lot of things can happen in 8 weeks. Hello. Famous, you're late. I'm not kidding. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting the time in for this. Inside the classroom and outside of the classroom when you have questions. That phone number is my personal cell phone, so don't be like NSU alert and send me messages at 3 a.m. in the morning. I will not respond at 3 a.m. in the morning. I will not bail you out of jail. Fair response. Actually, did I do that? Almost once. Different times. Class schedule. I mentioned that we are doing this here. Please be on time. We do have this issue that this is right now the only classroom computer lab with this software installed on campus. I'm working on different solutions. Even a solution like we have seen in ArcGIS Developer, so you can sit at home or at Starbucks and remote in. That solution is, I'm looking at thousands of dollars in hardware. I'm trying to solve this. Maybe mid of the semester, unfortunately, maybe I have a solution. Working on it since more than a year. Now, there's some other elements in the backyard, in the back office I have to deal with. I'm happy to present to you that we are able to package up a really cool deal for students. To give you an idea, a typical student license is $100 a year. It comes with 200 online points. We are able to, because of licensing that's just started in July, I'm able to give NSU students, particularly oceanographic students and the real estate students, special deals in bundles. So I wasn't kidding when I said, hey, you get a 1-year license to install. We're going to put 3,000 points on your account. That is about a $300 value already when you buy that in the commercial world. And we include into the class premium apps like Business Analyst Online. For those who had classes before in the past half year or so, let's say particular development 2 and the projects, they have been draining those points all over. If you want to know how much laundry detergent in dollar is spent within 20 minutes drive time from this campus, we're going to do this maybe next week. How much auto parts, retail leakage, expenditure in any form, income, disposable income versus recreational factors, we got that database visually and by tables. So we got to work on that. If you're interested in the locations of all the McDonald's in Broward County, 5 mouse clicks, maybe 10, but we got this. And it's part of that package. Working hard on the idea of reducing costs for students. So believe me, the combination with the book and the lab fee, I find this extremely fair and valuable. Yes, please.
As far as the access, will we still have, like, is it a year long, or do we have it for a certain amount of time?
In 11 months and 3 weeks, I will deactivate your account, and then in a week or 2 weeks later, I will delete it. It's a 1-year deal. If you are on a special timeline with this program, I have 1 or 2 who are thinking about 1.5 or 2 years, we can make it talk. But pretty much the idea is, if you graduate in August, I take off that account at some point. But I'm a little bit flexible with that. If you say, hey, we are doing this really cool student project and overlapping, or 1 or 2 students who are doing 18 months in the program, it's a mouse click. But the fundamental idea is, as long as you're in the program, I give you that account. If you run out of points and you're like, okay, I have Fred Forgey's group team project and I need some retail information or office space information, there are ways to support students and student projects. We get there. Hi.
Okay, but if you already have an RS account, right? I just might ask me, can I link it to my past RS account? So when you link it,
You can't mix up different organizations. And since this class, your work on the cloud is part of your grade, and I'm actually need access, 100% access, not just sharing, I cannot say, hey, you have an outside account and you can share that. But it's a technical problem we can certainly talk about. But right now I can tell you it's not going to work. For the next 8 weeks, as part of the grade, not going to work.
The question is that after class is done, the work we're doing continuously. When you shut us off, we'll be able to save our project.
Yeah. There are ways to copy and transfer data. Okay. Yeah. But right now for the class itself, I got to keep this in a certain containment to make sure that I can give you in an objective way the earned points for your work. I can't mix and say, let's pick on you, just because you work on styles in a GIS lab, different division. Okay. Good. We are doing this as an applied here as part of job description. The important thing is, let's scroll down. Textbook is there. Again, I do apologize, but this is a Windows-based system. There are two major systems out there. It's Boot Camp and Parallels for the Mac users. I have one loaner. So Laurel, after I got your message, I actually found a brand new loaner laptop. If you want to have that, we can talk about that. I get it back at the end of the semester. One thing to understand, we are teaching in this class 4 different platforms. One is the legacy. It's called ArcGIS Desktop, current version 10.7. We're doing this next week. Expose you to what you might see when you go into a shop and say, hey, what are you guys doing with GIS? You might actually find a 10.5, which is 2 years old in that shop. Licensing issues. I'm a big fan of teaching current versions and actually stuff that is next future. Both current market and expose you for the next market. If so, ArcPro is that product. Everything that ASRI is pushing, or ESRI, what's ESRI pushing right now in new development, and in particular in market data for real estate, huge sector with them, is ArcPro. The argument here is it's streamlined on the workflow. It's not anymore tool. No, it's drop your car off at the mechanic and pick it up after a few mouse clicks. Yeah? So it's for the end user more streamlined, more, I would say more convenient. For the hardcore user, sometimes a little bit annoying because you have to still open up the toolbox and drill down for that one tool you really need for adjusting a few things. You will see that in the on the online GIS, it's super easy. If you do it with the tool, you have like 5 more mouse clicks. And the most annoying thing you will realize is click, 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 click. It takes some time, particularly to find the tools. So we're doing ArcGIS Desktop. For those who signed up for the GIS fee, it says Arc Pro and online. Yeah, the book is Arc Pro, which I really like is it has screenshots, tables, and tells you literally like a cooking book, step by step what you need to do. Beautiful. This is how I also teach my class. Now we click on this. Now we're plugging in this. Let's type in this. Oh, let's open up the other software. Let's switch to the other program. Fully applied. Then we are doing 2 other things. ArcGIS Online, as in online in your web browser in the cloud. And then Business Analyst Online, which is an additional premium app also in the cloud, different web page. To let you know. Yes, Arc Pro is Windows-based software. Got to find a way for the Apple users here to get them time on those computers. I hope the the lab hours here in this classroom are helpful. You can install it on any PC among your friends. Your account is coming from the cloud. That's the bunch of emails I sent out. Or if you signed up already, you got an yesterday I sent out to everyone a short email. Hey, this is gonna be your account _RED. You can use it on any computer. So Armando, if you're sitting here, next week you're sitting here or in the back, it's the same logon for the cloud and your Arc Pro. If you put the Arc Pro on your boyfriend, girlfriend's or spouse's computer or your roommate across the hallway, will work. I'm trying to even put it on 4 computers in the other computer lab so you can just sit in there if this one is not open. In general, the tech folks here in the library wing are really, really friendly. They call this room Thomas's Computer Lab. If you're here at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, there's no official class, they will let you in if you ask nicely. I have not seen in the past years since I had this room here that they have been really sticklers and really, nah, it's not on the schedule. Ask friendly, particularly if you, let's say, 6 o'clock is official lab hours and you're here at 5 because traffic wasn't so bad. They let you in. Again, on any PC, you can install the software. It doesn't have to be your PC because you take your account with you. Schedule. Now we're talking. Tentative lab hours, access to the GIS lab. I will send you an email. Alright, this is what we're going to do. I have 8 weeks to educate you with a lot of fun in a technical, complex software environment that also requires you to think between one point and the other point and accept that there are relationships in space. Tobler's Law of Geography 101, first law of geography. Every object has a relationship in space, as in all the markers, the book, the folder, the binder, the coffee, they have a relationship right now with that table. They're sitting on top of my table. Underneath the table is nothing, because I don't count the chair right now as completely underneath. GIS is taking the real world and slicing and dicing it into layers. Like a layer cake. Cake. Part of this class is we're going to make a decision if this is yellow sponge, white sponge, chocolate sponge, good chocolate or no or bad chocolate as icing on top of that. Yeah? Cream, cherries, whatever you have. I do a lot of comparisons with food. Sadly, in the evening classes I teach, so people are starving sometimes. All right. The idea of this class is be as applied as possible. You will see on that schedule here certain highlighted areas. The gray, just to differentiate the weeks. Yeah? The bold, to put out something that's important. Yeah? And then red and purple to highlight a few things. Let's talk about the red first. In every session, I try to have specific lead themes and topics. Makes it easier. Remember, there are different toolboxes we have to talk about. There's a difference between top of your car at the mechanics for just a tire and oil change versus someone keyed your car and you get the whole door replaced. Different jobs, different workflows. We're going to do that. If you bring in your car and want to have a Maserati taking away from the Golf, it's not going to work. That's projections and transformations, and we are only tackling this in a very small portion. It's scary mathematics, and I don't want to do that. I want to rather show you how you can be amazing in the next presentation, in the next class, because some of all of this data mining can turn into information and visualization. The red stuff, quiz 1, quiz 2, and quiz 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have half an hour to 45 minutes. The idea is we're supposed to be here at 8. To be fair, at 8:10 we're probably logged in the room and all that, logged on a computer. So pretty much between 8:15 and 9 o'clock on those quiz days, I will conduct a quiz with you. As in, we log in on the computer, we download data, there are certain sets of workflows and exercises you need to complete, finish up. I have a sheet where you can write down certain, let's say, count or something, or name for if you look for something, or you create something visually, create a PDF or even a whole data package and send it back to Canvas, and I give you a grade on that. I've done this last year and multiple years before as a midterm. I'm not a fan of one single grading point when it comes to applied work. Why? Because if I ask you certain questions and you have to write them on paper or on the computer, like, hey, tell me how to do this tool. You're like, I can click it, but I don't know how to tell you about it. I had years ago an undergraduate class with about 50% F because they completely did not comprehend the idea on, hey, how do you add data to the project? And the 3 different ways to do this, they didn't write this down, but we could click it. So it's like I would ask you, hey, show me how to play the guitar. That's different than, Andrew, write a 3-page essay on how to play the guitar. Left, right brain, different work. So if I give you a guitar and say, hey, play it, you play it. And if I say, play the guitar with a specific style, that is the advanced level. I don't care if you play me some John Lennon or REO Speedwagon. If I ask you to play the guitar. Or flamenco for really heavy work. So this is how I structure the class. Instead of a take-home assignment, I give you a timed assignment, a quiz, and you get the work done. Big advantage is I'm not going to test you on unbelievable and impossible things. I usually say, hey, 3 to 4 times the time I need to solve this problem, I give students. So if I take 15 minutes, I would give you an hour. Fair and tested. Last year, the midterm, I even gave it to a bunch of my friends, GIS geeks. And I came back and said, yeah, that's like 10-minute piece. And I'm like, okay, fine. I give them 90 minutes or an hour, something like that. So I'm trying to be fair and objective. Also, what I'm going to do is, in all my classes, if I have paper-based work usually, or PDF, I don't ask you for your name. I will ask you for your N number, your student ID number. Why? Because then I don't know if it's an Andrew or Liliana or Chase. I read the work, And then I look at the list, who's who, and transfer the points. Yes, please.
So in the syllabus, it says that every assignment has to have like the cover page. Does that just not matter?
That's a university thing.
Yeah, no, I know. So it's like, do we not include that? 'Cause, like, that would
That's a university thing. And let me come to this, just because this is, for those who have seen me at the front door, that was an ice cube. If hell is freezing over, it comes to plagiarism and to cheating. Let's talk about syllabus schedule first. The important part here on this class schedule is there are 3 highlights. Chapter 2, Chapter 7, and Chapter 9. And it says do, because the book has multiple chapters and it's done like a comic book tutorial. In a grad school environment and the way I teach this class, I fully expect that you are able to look at a page of a screenshot and say, oh, this is a tool I've seen before in WordSys class. Yeah? But there are also some of those highlights, like Chapter 2. We are playing with this a little bit, and the book gives you an exercise you have to do. Step by step, do this. Yeah? The important part is that you do this before that session. Yeah? As part of, let's say, prepare your readings for other classes. You're not going into a other class and say, oh, I didn't read the chapter today. If you've done this in your past, you're like, oh, next hour I have a problem to follow the next discussion. I'm uninformed. What I want you to do is, with this do on the chapter, you explore in your own pace how to find the tools and navigation and your way around in that software. The software or the data is based in Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. Yeah? I try to put Broward County on the map, Florida and Broward County in the classroom. So you also have different views in different areas you know about. Yeah? The book has in those chapters an assignment section at the end. You do not have to do those assignments. They will kill your time. I want you to go through the exercises as part of the chapter. Huh? As honest as you can be with this. If you're a GIS wizard and you look at it and you just run it without doing the exercise, okay. Practice, practice, practice. ArcPro came out a few years ago, and we switched last year to ArcPro to change the setup of this class. I spent hours in front of this and just saying, hey, where's this tool? Where's this option? Where's this? Yeah? I serve steak cut in small pieces. Yeah? And I teach you how to eat that steak. Sorry if I have vegetarians or vegans in the room. But we're doing this food-wise, step by step. And the reason why I spent a significant time in talking slowly and very specifically about this is because I take this very serious, that you understand how the software works. I'm very, very interested in your learning experience and learning success in this class. I think it's one of the coolest softwares developed and coolest projects or concepts you can have in a educational package that deals with space, aka land development, neighborhoods. And the fact that I'm doing this more than 20 years and it financed a bunch of fun stuff. Do I know everything? No, but I know a lot in that stuff. And I'm getting really excited. I brought like 6 or 7 different colors of markers if we need to sketch out things. I had a former student here in office hours and she's like, yeah, his classes are not so cool, but in GIS he's really lighting up. I'm like, yeah, get out of here. So, I have a sense of humor, in case you haven't realized this. The accent is South German, so I'm not always mean. Outside of class, I'm actually having fun. No, just kidding. Again, this looks really like things put into the box. I need to slice and dice boxes and certain frameworks, because then I can grade you on your assessments and your progress. This is a different class from, let's say, the site plan class in the afternoon, where tell the story, the general concept is sometimes more important than a little tiny detail. Here, I changed the way of creating my assignments because I moved them into quizzes. Detail richness is important. It starts with naming conventions at some point. Yeah? If this is a point and you call it a circle, we have a problem because you don't get the terminology done. Yeah? All right. This is on Canvas. I think it's pretty straightforward. You also can see that we have a fairly interesting load to learn, particularly if you look at the purple elements here on the chapters you need to do and prep. Again, if it says spatial analysis, chapter 9, we are doing spatial analysis with day 1. But this is a specific tool set and a chapter I want you to prepare, and then we're going into more and more flexible, more and more creative parts. What I even call workshops. As a spatial workshop business analyst online. Yeah? We might switch a few things around depending on hurricane season. Yeah? If we get hit by a hurricane, I record a whole session on video for you guys. Huh? And you have enough time to figure this out. To catch up time. My philosophy is a hurricane is a lot of time at home. So why not to bring the classroom to home? Depending on how long the university is closed. Because at the end, like was Irma, we didn't have class sessions for 2 weeks, and you have to catch up with a project at the end. I rather have you watch a video while school is closed in hurricane season, and you have the time available to catch up and be really, really solid with your education here. Yeah? So fingers crossed for no hurricane season, because I prefer to teach this class in person. I have my sneakers on so I can run around and point at the screen if something comes up. So if you have technical issues, I'm right next to you and help you with this. There are no stupid questions in this classroom. Maybe a funny answer, but no stupid questions. If you're struggling with this computer software, I will help you. If that software hangs up 5 times on you, I will be there 5 times and help you. If it's 25 times, let's meet up in our office hour and I give you a personal tutorial session on how to speed this up. With the new licensing system, we actually have access to a so-called virtual campus. So if needed, if something comes up in the class and you guys are really excited about a specific thing, different tool, I can actually find an online tutorial for that as an online classroom session outside of my class time. So yes, the question about another year to use the software, I can give you additional advanced workshops if you want to and follow up. Yeah? Because you keep that account with you. And we can make that happen. It's not just 8 weeks class and you're done with it and you never touch the software again. Believe me, it's like a boomerang or like a toilet paper thing. It will come back and it'll stick on you. And that's a good thing. In this case, it's a good thing. Alright. Assignments and quizzes, I talked about that. Student project. We have 25 students. 26, 25, something like that. 240 minutes in the Saturday session. That is 9 minutes, 9.23 minutes per student presentation. We'll make this happening. Okay. The student project is different from past classes. I gave students the opportunity to, hey, find your own topic and present, and I'll help you to build it. Then 2 days before final presentation, students didn't have projects. So I'm like, okay, fine, I didn't breathe fire enough down your neck, so let's do a roadmap. So midway, you had to write a roadmap, and this is my project proposal, and this is how I want to do this project. Created, of course, fairly easy assess, as in you submit, you get a good point already. And all of those projects have been feasible. But then, there have been 2 or 3 students in every of the classes that at the day of presentation, they presented a complete different topic. So instead of putting a retail shop on a parcel and do the market study for that and support with GIS and information and visualization, they came up with, can't remember, assisted living. Completely different. I had a student who took my training exercise and put like 5 minutes of work on top of that. For those who have seen me at the entrance right now this morning, you should have seen me that day. Huh? I give a lot of passion and a lot of energy in how to train you guys and how to be excellent. So don't change the topic on me without notifying. If you struggle, well, we'll change the topic anyways. But if you struggle in classes, communicate with your instructors. Please do that. For those who are in my real estate market analysis class, you probably have seen the videos already on plagiarism and cheating. Huh? The way you use work from other people, citations, references. Huh? It's a huge problem. Maybe not that huge, but there's always one or two students that trip over that. Sometimes that trip can break necks. Or leg at least. It's hard, it's painful. It's painful for me as the instructor. Because I put so much time in it and I'm like, oh my God, there's one email and one communication or on my side a check-in as in, you guys know what you do? Everything okay? You're feeling okay with this? Works both ways. It's sad. Huh? The students project is going to be different this year. I'm going to have about five different sites. I will log in and I will assign teams for it. Individuals for a site. As in U5 gets site number 8 as an example. And site number 8 has a specific location and maybe a restriction on it. By size or by use possible. So you don't have to run around and think, oh man, what could I do for a GIS project? I think I have one non-real estate person in this room. That's you, Brandon. And you're doing real estate as an elective minor. So you're going to be okay with any of the real estate topics we're touching today or in this class. So the idea is to give you a more constrained framework in which you can really explore things and really grow. The challenge and the fun fact here, and we had this discussion in the office for a few times now, we end up in one site, 5 students doing work for that site. There are going to be 5 different pieces. Some will overlap because you all have a little bit of different flavor based on your own creativity and how you perceive, let's say, a project site selection on that. Have not written it out yet because I need to be clear with the instructions, but there's also enough time. But the idea is I give you a site, as in here, I walk into your GIS office and say, you're the GIS person. This is the site we're interested to buy. Find me uses that are feasible for it. And you can use all the tools. Every tool we touch or is available in the system, you can use for that. That's the plan right now, and it looks really, really, really great in concept. There was a discussion, your former alumni, Ryan, came up with that. I think Judson, you've been in the same room, where he said, you know what could be also interesting? Because this is about presentation style and visualization. Have the classmates give a ranking of the 5 presentations as a whole, not with the special details, but just as a whole, as in, I really like this one, same site, but I really would go with proposal number 1 versus proposal number 3. So we'll see how to do that. Yep. And this is in 6 to 7 weeks. I will have this done probably next week so we can talk and we can build you guys for this. And this is the reason why late September here I introduced the concept of workshops. Because you might have a question about a specific tool. If I know that in advance, I'm going to present that tool to the whole class. That's this whole thing we call buffers. In real estate, we have a site and you see all those rings, driving distance. Those are buffers, 1 mile, 5 miles, 10 miles. There are different ways to do that. I show you to do 1, 5, colorful, black and white. Yeah? Let's do drive time. It's more specific. All different little pieces. All right? And that's pretty much it. Takes a while. This is how I'm going to put the grading schema in place. Raw points. 3 times 200. 400 the total, but the final project, but it's a composite of your presentation, the GIS work done, and the mini report. Gotta write a small report. Every good map, every good visualization needs some explanation. Think about this. Could be a 5 to 10 page document and saying, here's my executive summary for the site acquisition. Boss, you have no idea about GIS, but I wrote it together for you. You can take it to the board meeting. It's part of the tell the story. Doesn't have to be a literature Nobel Prize writing. Copy, edit, grammar, language. Yeah? Have your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, roommate read it. Print it out on paper. Read it on paper. Everything I write for publication, mostly, sometimes emails I don't copy, edit. But everything that usually goes out as a big memo, big thing, print, read on paper with a pen. Makes a difference. I even change the colors of my pens. Red is not the painful grading color. It's a contrast color. Helps. Alright. Grading schema. Course policies. Thing here, a little bit allergic to your social media if needed. If you do that in classrooms, you pay premium dollars for premium education. I try to respond with premium education for this. Unless you have family emergencies, kids outside, or babysitter issues, put the phones away, put them on mute. It's rather annoying to see you guys, what's going on. All this is screenshot captured, so there's also no need, let's say, to take out your phone and take a picture of a PowerPoint. If needed, I will provide that one PowerPoint. I have a tendency not to give my PowerPoints away. If needed, I give selected PowerPoints in a PDF within the classroom. I had my PowerPoints show up in other classrooms, and I don't need that. I spent a lot of time to design all this, so I'm not really eager to share all that. Alright, integrity. You can read this fine print very slowly. It's on the syllabus. Elements here in this class. Yes. Please, if you end up here together in the same classroom and right next to each other, and you teach each other the GIS thing about, hey, where's this tool buffers? How do I do those circles? And you point at your friend's screen and say, this is what you can do. This is where the tool is. Fine. Don't share your data. Don't work really, really synchronous with each other, as in step by step by step by step. It's not helping you and your friend. If you're doing the same time working, let's say, on those chapters, do it on your different pace, your own pace. Past classes, and that's the reason why I put this in. Past classes, issues with folks doing quizzes right next to each other. Study groups, I'm perfectly fine. I will encourage it anytime, everywhere. Study together, have a conversation about what you're learning. Put your fingers on the mouse and on your keyboard. Write those sentences, your work. If you have something you find, let's say the City of Fort Lauderdale webpage, go to this library here if you don't know how to cite and look up the citation style for how to cite a web page. If you copy and paste 2 or 3 sentences from the City of Fort Lauderdale web page without saying it's from the City of Fort Lauderdale, it's considered plagiarism. You don't give credit where the credit is due to the other person's thought and work. Another time, the 5th time probably in the last hour. This is serious, serious stuff. This is a technology-based class. I do encourage to back up things. Jump drives. OneDrive or whatever is with Microsoft here with this university. Dropbox it. External hard disk if you think you need more space than on jump drive. do not share this jump drive with fellow students. And even if it's just here, download the same assignment twice. No. 2 years ago, 2 students accidentally, because they helped out, shared the jump drive. Suddenly had their digital fingerprint of one student in a GIS class on the other one's work. I'm like, okay, what's going on? They opened the same Word document and then started writing in it. Not cool. I had a class where data was shared and the digital fingerprint of that file was exactly the same. We have tools in place that can prove that. If you write an assignment, you have seen this probably in other classes or on Canvas, there's a tool called Turnitin. It scans your work. If this paper has been submitted somewhere else, it scans the database. If this paper has been half of the web page of Fort Lauderdale, it scans the web page. Real estate market analysis, as an example. You're doing work in different counties outside of Broward County. You're probably doing Newcastle County in Delaware. You're probably doing Hamilton County, Ohio. You're probably doing Ada County, Idaho. Why? Because I used to live in those counties. I have internal knowledge on the places and the institutions there. So, hint, if you're in the REMA class and you're writing about Hamilton County got its name by Alexander Hamilton, that's from the Wikipedia page. Not relevant for market analysis class, where the historical name came from. And the reason why I spent some time on it with a very, very sad face is because I had issues in my class with that. And I really, really want to encourage you guys to, if you have questions about it, ask. Don't ask a day before deadline. Please. Deadlines, by the way. This year doesn't really apply for this. Late submissions, 0 points. Because we're doing everything in the classroom. Other classes, deadlines, if it's 8 p.m. in the evening, 10 p.m. submission, sorry, not even opening it. You might remember one gentleman from Arkansas who would stand up and introduce himself. He had that pain. And he will tell you every time now, never ever a late submission ever again. Not even 5 minutes before time. Perfect score. 2 hours late. Submit whatever you have. For the presentations here, we have enough time to make perfect grades. If you struggle, call me up, send me an email. I'm more than happy to help and support. But whatever you write up, because you have to deliver a report, finish what you have. Submit a draft. A draft might not be 100 points, but it might be 90 points out of 100. That's 90 points you count. Versus 0 because you tried to get that extra edge. Alright, speaking of extra edges. That's about it with the schedule, and you can see there's a lot of other elements that need to be addressed. Emails, please don't use your Gmail account. By NSU policy, I need to write to your NSU email. All class communications will go through email, send out with Canvas. Typically, is it, hi everyone, it's a class email. If it's hi there or your name, it's a directed email. Okay? Any questions about the structure of this class so far? You're still awake? Ready to rock? Let's do some more things. Alright. Give me about 45 minutes. We'll play with those computers for the rest of the day. I tend to run classes like this in one big block, particularly during the day. The night classes I do a quick break, top of the hour. So if you have to run to the bathroom, feel free anytime. The general structure in this classroom setup is we're doing an applied block, some theory, more applied. Or like today, formal introduction, applied, some outline and lecture. And then we're playing and playing and playing as long as we can do. Today at like 11:50. If I don't see it at 11:50, someone raises their hand and says it's time. Because we can go and go and go and go. And particularly in the next few sessions, this stuff is so exciting and you have so many things to explore. It's Christmas in the candy store. Not kidding. One more thing what I need to do. I need to learn your names. And I'm not a big fan of roll call outside of a dive boat, but let's do this as a roll call so I can figure out who is who. You're listed here as Jim. Okay, we have James. Actually, let's do this the other way. Let's start with Armando in the corner. So, because we have a lot of new students in this room and some who came here over summer and before. Quick, who are you? What's your background? And hi to everyone, pretty much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Armando Martin. I'm a property manager in Coral Gables, manager, financing home, and
Hi, Isabel.
Hi everyone, my name is Charles. I'm currently working with
hello, my name is Jim J. Alliance, but I go by James Alliance. I'm a real estate broker. I own my own real estate company. That's about it.
All right. Where did you do your undergrad?
My undergrad, 3 years at NYU and then 1 year at Johnson Wales University.
What was your major?
At Johnson Wales or NYU?
The whole thing.
Finance in NYU and business administration. At,
All right. Isabel, what's your background?
Yeah, I have a bachelor in global business administration.
All right.
Urban planning, urban and regional planning from FAU with a minor in public administration and a GIS.
Fun fact, I don't have a GIS certificate. I went through the doctoral program in Cincinnati, and there are 5 courses required for the graduate certificate, and I applied for it, and they laughed and gave me the paperwork back, because one class was missing, and I hoped I could waive it. As in, hey, I have a doctoral fellowship on GIS, can you waive the introduction to GIS? No, we can't, you have to take the class. And I said, I can't take the class, I'm teaching it. So, GIS certificate people are always fun. There's another FAU alumni, you know that, from planning program. You met. And fun fact, I know his instructor, I trained them. So, no, Diana Mitsova. Diana Mitsova, I ran proof of concepts for her on my computer. So, yeah, she is top notch. She's also #1 on the graduation list of our DAP students. A little bit of legacy. I'm number 5. Five in the program, so as in 5th to graduate. All right, fine.
Do not look at me for any GIS help because I have not touched GIS in 5 years and it was desktop pro. It was pro, not pro, but it was desktop.
Yeah, it's the same. It just looks different. Hi, how are you doing, sir? I'm doing fine. You're new. I haven't met you yet.
No, I'm new in the program.
Yeah.
My name is Edgar Rincon, program. My undergraduate degree is statistics.
You are so new that you are not on this list as of yesterday afternoon. But I worked on your account. I remember that name. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I'm Lily Palacios. I've been in the program since last year, and I've worked on a real estate development project. And before that, I worked for many years in business management consulting. And my undergrad is in business as well.
Huh? Hello.
Hi, my name is Alex Basher. I started the program in January, and I graduated from Emory University with a bachelor's in economics, and I've worked in the financial analyst in multiple commercial real estate companies since graduating.
Cool. Welcome again. Welcome. We skip you. No, just kidding. Chase, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm Chase Gajewski. I did my undergrad here at NSU, business and entrepreneurship double major. Just recently started a new job working for a nonprofit, helping charities in the local area increase their fundraising.
And you have your own business.
Yeah, 2 now actually.
Yeah.
Cereal.
And a new haircut, yeah. Whole new game in grad school.
So I jumped the ship. Chase office is just literally across mine. So there's, if you pick up a few teasers here and there, that's because I see him every day, even on Sundays.
So you think you guys don't get enough?
On that note, let's jump ship one more. Sorry, give me a moment to introduce Judson. Judson is our graduate assistant for the program. If you have not received yet emails about events and sign-ups and classes and books, this young gentleman over there is the new Ryan. Where are you coming from? Who are you?
I actually do undergraduate here at Nova as well, and I'm working as a grad assistant. I also do some residential real estate as well. So if you guys need anything, feel free to email me as well.
So you will get a lot of emails from him about events, sign-ups, etc. Don't send complaints about me to him. Send complaints about this class and where you struggle straight to me. Again, I'm more than happy to give you a super email about, hey, think about this. Take a look at it. Or send me a screenshot so I can help you. There is this kind of learning on the software. It's hard. I'm telling you guys, I'm not making this up. It's going to be struggle here and there, but it's just a stupid software you can click on. In the worst case, reboot your computer, get a fresh cup of coffee, and work it. I have done it multiple times. The reason why I'm standing in front of you, because I did not allow the software to win over me. All right, Mr. Cole.
Good morning, my name is Cole. I have a business undergrad as well, and I'm just a local investor. I actually have a house building business down here, and we operate in Tri-County area.
Cool. Hello, Mr. Jeff.
Hello.
Been a while.
Good morning. Yeah, it has. My name's Jeff. I have a background in finance and hotel development from FIU. I'm just finishing up my program. This is the last class, actually. And I came down here from Atlanta about in 2000, so been working with developers, and I work for Nova right now in design and construction. That's about it.
Cool. Welcome again. Hi, Laurel.
Hi, I'm L'Oreal.
Is it L'Oreal or L'Oreal?
L'Oreal.
Okay, L'Oreal. Okay.
I have a bachelor's in hotel management. I've been working in hotels for about 8 years.
Okay. And one of the reasons why we're doing this is we are not bound on a specific real estate product when we look at sites or markets and using the tools. So instead of McDonald's and Burger Kings, we can take out, let's say, Wendy's or certain restaurants or hotels. So we can play all the flavors you want. Hi, sir.
Hi, I'm Shane Tiger. I was in the Air Force for 20 years. I did logistics for 20 years. And then during that time, I bought a few rental properties because I live in houses. So I have my own property management business. I property managers. I got an MBA from here 2 years ago, concentration in entrepreneurship. And
That's good enough. Welcome to class. Mr. Kyle, how are you doing? Peachy. Coffee's kicking in. I'm calm. I'm ready to rock this show, and I'm looking forward to educate you.
Hey guys, my name is Kyle Tuttle. I did my undergrad in Boston at Bentley University, majored in finance. I was born and raised in South Florida, this one is I'm currently an investment analyst at Styles for the financial services team. This is also my last term, so 8 weeks.
Free. Hi.
My name is David Schneider. I graduated from University of Miami, Bachelor's of Architecture. Big game today. I work in a small architecture firm in Miami. I started this program in January, so I'm graduating in the summer.
You must be Zachary.
No, I'm Jose.
Jose? Alright, who's Zachary? Zachary did not show up? Alright. Sorry, wrong picture in my mind. Okay. Jose?
I did my undergrad at Barry, business management, and then I did my MBA last year here in Hamburg.
Alright. Family in Germany or in Austria? His last name Bösche?
Yeah.
Alright.
Mom's side of the family is from Berlin.
Okay, cool. Alright.
Good morning, everyone. Brian Williams, got my undergrad from Florida State University in sport management. As you can see, I wear a lot of U here because I work for the athletics department there. A lot of my background is in sports. Currently, the MBA student with a concentration in real estate. So, you got to see me around and things. So.
He's one of those students who had the pleasure to run into me and talk about real estate. He didn't convert completely to the graduate program, but I got him for a few classes. Thank you for being here. 10 minutes. If you would have given me 12, he would be an MSRED student. I'm just kidding. Hey, by the way, don't criticize my talking. Just kidding. I know Erin since years before she actually started to do this class. So I ran into her actually at the event of our program, and she's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, Erin, how are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm enrolled in the class. I start on Saturday. And I'm like, oh, good. So, hello, John.
Hey, I'm John, practicing attorney in Boca Raton, specializing in real estate. I have undergrad from the University of Maryland, and this is now my 4th program at school.
Hi, I'm Kenny, doing finance, building,
Okay. Where did you get your degree? New York? Which university? Okay, cool. Hi.
Connor, program specialist class, background in business administration,
And you pronounce your name like I would say it, Niederauer? Or you say it Niederauer? Okay, cool. All these Germans in here. Hello. Nothing. I'm taking a break from talking.
Oh. My name's Erin Ladd. I worked in a bunch of different colleges. I got my degree in urban regional planning back in the year. I work for an engineering firm. We do pretty much anything that has to do with ground. We manage large settlements, passion. It's also my last term. Me and Wendy are trying to convince Mercer to purchase us a yacht for our graduation party. So you guys can help me out. Not purchase, rent it out.
Rent.
One day, this person will be actual purchase.
Yeah, is there a petition we can sign?
I keep telling you, I'm not a yacht person. I'm a dive boat person.
Yeah, but you can dive from a yacht.
All right.
Graduation party somewhere. Funded by it.
All right. We'll figure it out. She's in charge of it, so I said I will support. She has to come up with the ideas. Hi. All right.
Stand because no one can see me. Hello, I'm Brian. I will have my undergrad in business management supervision from our college. From marketing and sales. I also manage and own a 6-unit vacation rental in Fort Lauderdale, and I graduate December, so I can't wait.
Good. So it's a, as you can see, it's a fair mix between seniors and brand new folks. I do encourage seniors, as in, huh? Senioritis, yeah. And I do encourage you guys to talk to each other, exchange ideas about the programs. Don't ask, hey, what's the assignment? Yeah. It's really helpful to understand who is who in the classroom, get a little bit an idea about the backgrounds they do. This afternoon, hands up, who is in the site planning class? Site planning this afternoon? Yeah. So same thing, we're doing this in the afternoon. We're doing actually about a 10-minute mingling, as in almost like a speed dating, because we have team-based projects. And my approach is you can pick your groups. If you're not done in 10 minutes, I have a randomized list and I run it. Huh? Maybe, but not today. I have other commitments after class today. So she's always picking on me about maybe we can do a social happy hour with a bunch of students. I usually do that at the end of the sessions, as in 8-week session, and we can have a pint. We'll see. All right, today's agenda. Says lecture on it. Let's do a lecture. Done this. All right, this is a mapping class, and it gives me icebreaker chills. I wrote a piece a few years ago, it was called Map versus Visualization, where GIS geek and a Tableau geek, Tableau is one of those data visualization softwares, came up with when do you use a map, when do you use a bubble chart or a bar chart or something like this. And Tableau revolutionized the industry. There are other softwares out there, other ways to visualize. If you have done some work in statistics, let's say with R, there are huge packages out there that do data visualization, not just information visualization. And there's a difference. I can show you a slide on that. So what I want to give you here is a teaser, is less is sometimes more. When it comes to GIS, we can work for 5 hours, and the only thing we need to know is 527 units of something. Yeah? Versus you work for 10 minutes, and you have 20 different little diagrams and maps, and you write 10 pages of text too. Yeah? Because you need to talk about visualization mapping and then how to add that together. And you see that in all the other classes, and you will see that in all the other classes. Sometimes it's just good enough to say, my return is going to be $11 million. That's the only thing that class is interested in. Versus, show me your design. Have you thought about the alignment of this building? Why are you putting this in front of that? When you talk about site plans as an example. Yeah? So, keep it simple. I'm not a fan of pie charts. Keyline pie is the only pie in my life. No pie charts in presentations. Really bad. There's so many other ways to display things. If you think you need to present a pie chart because it's just a pie chart, you can write this as a table. Worst case. Pie chart with 2 pieces, 80 versus 20%. It's 80 versus 20%. I think we deal with numbers often enough to say we understand the concept of 80 versus 20. You don't have to put a big pie chart on there, and probably put pink as a color on it. I found this very funny. Could be a paragraph instead of all these infographics and bubbly things. Keep it simple. I stress out a few things with my syllabus talk. It's the first session of this semester, first session of a lot of my new students. So at 12:30, the syllabus talk will be shorter, particularly because you have been in a room. I don't want to repeat 50 times a few things, but keep it simple. This could be one nice 4-minute example. On that note, one of the first PowerPoints in this class. If you happen to do a presentation, end of the semester, end of the session, a black PowerPoint background, white font, 12 size, I will strike through the grading sheet with my red pen, drop the pen, might leave the room. I give this warning in every conversation I have with students. I think I'm on video recording for that session where I used a very explicit word starting with F. Student, pretty much one of the last classes of that student in this program, pulled out slide number 2, black background, white font, 12 size. 12 size is smaller than this one. I'm like, okay, folks that were sitting on your spot, folks to the left and to the right, they're up next to present. They have been completely out of it. Well, she was always a little bit shaky, but she did also great presentations in a perfect scope. But don't do that. There's so many wonderful things. We call it the color wheel. Yeah? There's so many ways to visualize and talk about things. That's one simple sentence on there. Keep it simple, and I can spend hours on talking about that slide or just 30 seconds. Be meaningful and bring it to the point with your presentations. You will probably have 5 to 6 minutes to present what you have been working on in this class, in your project. It's like almost like an elevator pitch. Yeah? And then 2 or 3 minutes for a bunch of questions, follow-ups. With 9 minutes per student, it's probably like this, 5 plus 2, 5 plus 3. Yeah? So be concise with your message. I don't need to know that you clicked here, clicked here, clicked here. We understand that too. You will say, I used 5 miles buffers, and you show the 5 mile buffer. We all know that is the rule. It's like, I made coffee. At your presentation, we don't care if it's from Dunkin' Donuts or from Starbucks. Yeah, it's coffee. Next, try to present a few things. This is space without the space. This is the surfaces of the solar system next combined to each other. It's not, it's really cool, it's fun. Yeah? Maybe not the best way to visualize this, but also, if I would tell you in 2012, the state of Idaho burned 1.7 billion acres of forest land in wildfires. How can you visualize and relate to a number of 1.7 million acres of land? By mapping or comparison. That's 5 or 6 times of the city of New York. Half of the land masses of the Netherlands. A quarter of Ireland. Gone. No houses destroyed, therefore not really in the news. 300,000 acres that year burned in Colorado. Colorado was in the news all the time. I don't want to take away the sadness of wildfires. We have Amazon burning right now. But that's what I've done for 4 years, wildfire research. And I'm trying to put numbers in perspective as in, you just burned 3 times Houston, and nobody talks about it. Yes, please. Ludo is here. It does not mean that this is a complete listing, okay? Found this on the web. The same thing I found this. Can't remember when it was. The Huffington Post had this as a report. They cross-linked different visualization of where people are coming from based on their ethnicity and region. Yeah, different way of visualization. And this is just a teaser. Give you an idea. Hey, we don't have to put everything into a plain, simple table. We don't have to be completely fancy like this, but sometimes a good sentence is fair enough. Yeah? Meaning, you're in a class that deals with an information system. Not always do you need to take a map as the visualization path for it. Again, 4 years doctoral fellowship, 5 maps. My dissertation has 1, showing where the property of the research is. So, just a teaser to do things differently. Anyone who has an idea of what's this? Say what?
It's a very small
timeline.
Where's the timeline? First of all, this is a really cool quote. Yeah. But this is Minard's diagram, who's an economist, of Napoleon's crusade to Moscow. The Russian crusade by Russian campaign of Napoleon. So basically he crossed here. This is the side in light beige, you can see the size of his troops with certain battle points as milestones going down to Moscow. This is his retreat. and the size of the chart is showing, or the line is showing the amount of troops he had. This is a timeline as well. Yeah? And the lines down here not just give you the time, but they also give you the temperature in degrees Celsius. To give you an idea, this is minus 11 Celsius.
So that's by the Siberian.
This is minus 30.
That's by Siberia.
That's Moscow, Russia. From west to Moscow. I can't remember where this starts, which river it starts. This is definitely a river, but that's the Russian campaign. Space, size of troops, time, and temperature in one really cool diagram. A very sad story in human lives. Huh? A theme of this presentation today, or the example I present, is about how data reports death and how visualization and even mapping can bring back the lost souls. Touches you differently. Yeah? Alright. Process of visualization. This is just for info, this is not part of any testing. Yeah? The idea is here you have raw data. Could be a measurement station. Good example would be flow data, traffic counts, flow data of water and rain. Yeah? Like a gauge on a river. Put this in tables, you add a specific idea to it, and you start visualizing the visualization of it. We are talking generally about the transformation process from data to information. If I know it's 50,000 and 100,000, I don't have the information yet. I know the data. Those are 2 data points. But if I know that, oh, this is over 5 years is the increase of my value of a property, now I have information about that. I gained $50,000 in 5 years on this property. Yeah? Now I also can take that, put that in a graph or in a good sentence and provide that information to you. Make it a data and information product. Huh? In GIS, well, a bunch of processes we need to deal with to make this feasible. Sometimes it's just simple manipulation of your data, put it in a different format. Sometimes this is part of the chapter number 2 is the intervals, the segmentation of my data, how I present 10% versus 20% versus 10,000 versus 100,000, and the color scheme to it will make a difference. Huh? I can lie with maps. There are really cool books written about how to lie with maps, but also with statistics. Just because I put it in a different color setup, I can lie about a map. I actually have a slide on this one. Would you consider this visualization or mapping? What do you look at right now? New York. Why do you look at New York?
Why New York?
Mm-hmm. It says New York on the label. Okay, what else? Tell me the features you see, elements.
Cities.
You see labels telling you Wall Street, Middle Village, all that? Yeah. You see, what's this line here? What's all these color lines? That's a train map. Remember when I told you the real world sliced and diced in layers and put on top of each other? Someone came up with the idea we take the base map of New York with the streets, the white lines here, put labels on it for the neighborhoods, put the metro or the train map on it, and then every one of these dots has something to do probably with those images they're popping up. This is the example of how to give your professor a heart attack and not to keep it simple. I googled that as an example for badly designed maps. I expect you guys to remember this picture. Whenever you do some visualization or a map, don't clutter everything here. You can do 2 maps or 3 maps to get all of this in. I would prefer to have a map with the metro lines and then maybe with the sightseeing points. Helps to understand the simplistic approach of a complex world. And that's what GIS is about. complex stuff simplified with visualization and information finding. Huh? All right. Speaking of maps, how's life with a map? What do you see right now? All right, northeastern US, based on its shapes of the states and the label. What else? All right. Well, that's because we colored everything and filled everything. Huh? Jace?
On the left one, it paints a picture that like the majority of things is over 15%, but then on the right side, it paints a picture that the majority of places are like below 20%, which is a marginal difference for big impact on
Yeah.
how you perceive it.
Straight to the point. If you look at that, the way they set up those brackets, those intervals, what percentages they include and exclude, you can have a complete different storytelling of underserviced or overserviced or well-served areas. One, I would present probably to the guy in where I would make markets. Occupied housing units lacking a telephone in the 60s. So I probably would go in everything that is below 10. No wait, lacking. Yeah, above 50% lacking. And here this is way more detailed. Above 30%, meaning I'm gonna do that's Virginia, isn't it? Yeah. I would go rather into the Virginia area down here and make this as my market area if I'm a telephone company. Not knowing what's the population down there. Could be completely wilderness and have no households at all that would need a landline. Huh? So additional information was given you right away as in, hey, by the way, have you thought about the population density in those areas for the demand? Huh? Very old map. Hope I don't have to explain what's a telephone or a landline. Had that in my undergraduate class. It's awesome. You ever had a phone with a ring dial, with a number dial?
Yeah.
And someone said, "Oh, that's old school. That's old people." And I'm like, "Yeah, I grew up with one." So good. Here. This is from that visualization presentation years ago. This is a GIS student. This is the example of visualization of when I say, sometimes when you do exercises and try to practice and repeat things from class, or you have a problem you want to solve, you hit a wall. My story about solving a GIS problem, as in plain English as a problem, translate it into GIS talk, and then do it, and then translate it back in English, can be done between 5 minutes and 5 months. I had a project, I spent pretty much every day on the sketchboard to solve how I would build the framework in my GIS, and it took about 5 months until I had the final data ready to publish on the process and the tricks and how to move things around. And I'm usually, that's no problem, it's a piece of cake. Friday afternoon, stuff done. You'll see today, when we start doing this, just throwing in data and looking at it, super easy. Making it meaningful with coloring and setting it up takes a little bit longer than just throwing it in. Alright, any idea what this is?
Stock prices.
You got it. Be quiet for a moment. Stock prices. Any idea what stock price that could be? Who bought in 2010 for about $300 stock? Apple. Telling a story in a different way, visualization in a different way, adding information, let's say launch products or product launches to it. Yeah. Compared to this is just 2 years. Yeah. This is just here in this area. It gives you the idea how this company evolved. What's yesterday's Apple stock? I have no idea. I missed in the 80s to invest in Apple, so I'm not interested. Again, different visualization for a finance person. Yeah, finance person probably seen this already because you get exposed to this. If you have no financing background, This adds a few things. Everyone can remember certain elements here. Where's the iMac? I remember this one. This was huge. PowerMac here, iMac came in this area. Yeah? Pointed this out earlier. Data visualization, information visualization, and scientific visualization, or in colorful schemes. Former student of mine in a 3D immersive cave with a headset, walking through. This is Idaho Falls, bicycle lanes, and because of all those little dots, it's laser points, measurement, LiDAR data. We might get exposed to LiDAR data in a session with one slide, and then we play with the data. Yeah. Quick and dirty map on obesity in the US with no date. No one who did that is county-based data. Different visualization, data visualization, information visualization, and this, from a dear friend of mine in computer science, this is actually scientific visualization. These are blood vessels, and the idea of with a different level of visualization algorithm, I can detect blood clots earlier. Huge thing. Like this stuff goes into your MRI and other elements. We don't do that. We are going to deal with this. This is fancy. Don't do this. This is medical. Don't do this. We're doing this. We're not mapping obese people. We're usually mapping income, or rental units and stuff. But it's the same thing. Every color dot here could be a different attribute, a different element to map. What you can see in the bottom left is already the elements of GIS. You have a certain element with boundaries, in this case counties, and you have a value and an attribute associated, like an Excel cell that says 20%. And that's the whole magic. An object you can visualize and work with and relate to space, and its data associated with that. As in, every computer screen here, the backside of a computer screen is color black. But if you take a spray paint, please, and paint one red, that would be one red, and I can run GIS against it and visualize it in different colors. That's pretty much the magic. Maps are visual aids of thinking. And then also again here to end this, do we need to have the spatial component all the time in visualization? If I want to show how the real estate market in Florida has changed over the last 5 years, I do not need to have a map. It could be 5 numbers for every year what we have done. Speaking of what we have done. Want to do some fun on the computer? Let's do a 5-minute break, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, and then we hit the machines. Alright, this is an example of, we say we do a 5-minute break and it's 7 minutes. I'm sorry. If you have to run to the bathroom in between, go. But if you set up a quick break to stretch your legs, slowly, don't go and get some food. On that note, for everyone who's watching this later on video, we have a 30-minute lunch break. The reason why I said 11:50, raise the hand, I need you to get out of here on time, so you have enough time for lunch in between. And switch gears, refresh your brain, hydrate. There is not enough time to leave campus to get pizza or other food. Have it delivered, eat it outside of my classroom. The last thing we want is being somewhat hungry and smell pizza all day long, or French fries. Bring a sandwich, a wrap, a bowl of salad. There are microwaves if you want to warm up food. I've seen this. Some students do struggle to plan ahead on that. And it's super easy. And yes, you might fall into food coma if you ate too much during a quick lunch. But it's important to stay focused on this. And during the day, try to drink Even technically no food in the computer lab, but make sure that you stay active with this. I have had my own experience of it. I run a day on a banana and 2 coffees. It's not great. You can do that. If I keep running my show, it's great. If there's a break in between, I'm like, ugh. You have seen me in the past where my bowl of salad is a scoop every half an hour. Every time we have a quick break, I take a bite. It's equally important for you guys because you consume information here and have to internalize information, that you stay focused. And one way to stay focused is make sure you got some food and got some beverages. Aaron is not here, so we can say it into the microphone. A beer is not appropriate during a class lecture. So, yeah, that's a rumor about me that I have no sense of humor, but you might be able to pick up on it. I have some humor. It's a really dark one, so we'll see. I have dear friends. I'm a scuba instructor. I'm going through instructor training. It's multiple months of development here at NOVA as a class. And you meet multiple times, hours and hours and hours, in very intense training. And so the guy who's doing this has like a PhD in diving, and he's laughing his butt off all the time about me being really, really challenged with positive reinforcement. It's a thing, as in, I really like the way you did your work here, but, and it's really hard. It's really hard. Even the teacher, even if someone completely screwed up in the pool, this is a French word for technical difficulties, as in you killed yourself. You did a good job with that. But you're also being taught, don't say you did a good job. So they even thought about t-shirts with positive reinforcement on the back. So I try to work on this. Not that old yet. Okay, this is what I breathe, what I dream about, what I try to deliver in passion to you guys. This is not a pie chart. This is Earth and complex elements of Earth in slices and dices, or what we call layers. Any of those layers has some significant information associated with it. Could be just locations. Could be an ortho image, background image. Google Maps calls it satellite. Could be what looks like a thermal rendering of elevation, as in green very low, red very high. Could be rivers, could be infrastructure, assuming red and green are different levels of infrastructure. Goes further up, parcels, building footprints, certain parcel numbers, house numbers maybe, and. So everything we look at through our GIS has multiple layers, and we usually look at it like this. So whenever I close my hand and I can't see anything anymore, I have a problem because I might cover everything that is below and could be important. So elements, what we learn in this class is important stuff needs to come up, background information needs to come down or goes away completely. And sometimes it's tricky because you add data and it covers everything. It's like, oh my god, I lost my points. Yeah, because they're covered right now. It's like literally you have a couch, you have some pillows on your couch, and you throw a big blanket on top of the couch. What's covered? The pillows. You don't see the pillows. So what you need to do is an understanding of where are your pillows, and you might actually put the pillows on top of the blanket in case you have a couch. Oh, true. Alright, what is GIS? I've done this before. Geographic Information Systems. No, I will not ask you what the acronym GIS stands for. I've done this in undergraduate classes. That's the icebreaker. First question. 1 point. Not everyone got it. At the end, the last bonus point was, what else could GIS stand for? 1 point. Everyone got one. I did this exam question, I think 4 times. I got 1 time a bonus point. as in Germans, intellectually screwed. I found it humorous and insulting. Alright, so classic visualization, classic definition of GIS. You deal with data mining, data capturing, you store it somewhere, you integrate the whole thing, and then this is the power. You generate information. Just because you sit on a gold mine doesn't mean that you know how to deal with gold. Yeah? More text. Let's kick this out as an advanced analytical tool. It's cool. Yeah? And again, we had this with, it models the real world. You can see this now. Diagram of the real world. And then slices and elements. Here, this is actually for a business application, the customers. Yeah? So where the customers live symbolizes all the houses or potential addresses. Where would I use GIS? Everywhere. Unless you have a flip phone, you have access with GPS to a GIS. Yeah? Unless you have no phone, no gas, no water meter in the house, you should have access to GIS-driven systems. Have you ever seen the movie The Matrix? The 0 and 1s on the screen? That's like a GIS system. Every computer in this room has a serial number to identify it. What this room doesn't have is the location of the computer. Not on row number 1. Technically yes, because they kind of put those in. The lower numbers are all row number 1. So assuming that this is row number 20 switches here at some point, because it's 10. But in theory, this is 1040 as a room, 37 computers. That's how it's associated. If you walk around in the neighborhood, let's say your electric meter around the corner of your house, your electric meter has an ID number. An FPL knows exactly that this ID number is associated with this structure, associated with this address, and with a certain grid network to it, and counts how many kilowatt hours you're going to produce, use. Yeah? Same thing with electric meters, gas, water, all of it. Even your car could be run with a GPS. With GIS. How? Insurance company. Why is the different zip code more expensive than the one you live in, or vice versa? Because the insurance company is looking at the zip code and the accident numbers and the damages they have to pay and the values of the cars they have to repair. And then they actually say, you know what? This one and the adjacent one, because you take a big table and you fold it into space, it's a map, then you know exactly where's what. And you can see the infrastructure, if it's a highway versus local streets. Or is it wilderness stolen car, you come back from a fishing trip and the car is broken into, versus you're parked at the beach or at the mall. So again, everything, this is, sometimes it takes a moment, but everything they could put an X, Y location on it, GPS it, draw an X on the map. X marks a spot. You can associate that. Simple association with X marks the spot, there might be treasure. Pirate. X marks the spot, could be a gas meter, water main, sewer pipe, could be a building. Could be a wildfire, as an example. Interesting thing, because the Amazon example for wildfire that's a huge X. Where you move away from one point to actually something with boundaries, an area. Part of today is also to expose you to that. So you understand that we deal with points, lines, and polygons. The exotics in between. Alright. Speaking of point, lines, and polygons. This is the theory we need to understand. I know we are 2 hours in and this guy is keeping talking, and you haven't had fun yet. Point, line, polygons. Super simple and easy to mess up. A point is a location. Right now I have this gray marker, this big filled circle as an indication for this point. Every point here I could put a 3D bus stop on it, a palm tree, a circle, a triangle, a square. Our location is still the XY as the point. That's the geometry. Remember mathematics? When we talk about geometry and shape? Huh? A line is also super simple. Because it's a construct. I think everyone can see that. If I draw a line, I have a first point, a from, and a to. It needs 2 points to draw a line. Huh? Hey, wait a minute. If this is my home, and this is NSU, what did I just do? Start and finish. I just drew directions. Huh? Or I could do a spider diagram and say, this is NSU, and where are all my students coming from? And I can measure, in average, my students are coming from half an hour drive time. Speaking of drive time, to get you an understanding, who drives less than 30 minutes to this university? Alright. Who drives less than an hour to this university? Who faces the awesomeness of more than an hour travel time to this university? Good. Not good, but good. What we just have done is we categorize your travel time into 3 intervals. 30 minutes, 32, 60 minutes, and above 60 minutes. Power of GIS. I could map that out. I could take everyone's zip code or home address, put it on the map. It's called geocoding. Now it's like Google an address. The process you do is you type in the address, Google geocodes it and puts it on the map for you. No? We can do that. I can say drive times 30, 60, and 90 minutes away from this university. You can see if you're within that drive time. Really cool exercise. One of those 5 mouse clicks we can do, and I have to say, hey, you did this. Huh? Alright. Then polygons, that's super easy. A polygon starts like this, 3 points. A polygon could be like this, 1,000 little lines attached to it. Yeah. A polygon could be like this, because all of that is of interest. That's what we call a donut. That's in the American version of internal polygon. Yeah. The important thing here, again, point, line, polygon, everything. There's another exotic element as the state of Hawaii, because it's so many islands. It's a multi-feature polygon. Who's beeping? Something's beeping. Oh yeah, if this starts smoking, rescue the laptop and not me. True. You're recording? Okay, fine. Alright, so next level. I don't know what's going on here. Press a random button. Power units didn't complain. Alright, let's go back. Alright. Vector data. It's a little bit old school name. In theory, I can display any data in those 3 different types and forms. Yeah? Points. What could be done as points? Any idea? As an example down here, street addresses. Your home address is a point on the map. Something. A house, a gas meter, a weather station, the GPS coordinate for a shipwreck could be a point. Measurement data, let's say traffic counts. That point, the south corner of that one street, could be that measurement point. Lines, easy. Most common form we have usually is a street or street segment, or a path. If you draw a bike path or pedestrian path, let's say we do digitizing, which is drawing literally lines on your computer screen to create those objects. We're doing bike paths or pedestrian paths on campus as an example. That is a line. And polygons, parcels and building footprints. Easiest thing to think of in terms of real estate and planning world. The cool thing is, depending on how we construct this, we can blow them up into 3D. Then we also have what we call raster data sets. We're going to see some of these, part of the book. Density rasters. This is the same technique like you see a weather radar. When the clouds are coming in with the rain, heavy rain, no rain, no rain. Temperatures, same thing, different visualization. Think about a black and white picture, white versus black, and all the gradients in between, different color schemes. It's a little bit complicated to process these with a focus on economics and real estate development. We are probably not doing many raster data sets. A background picture like this is also a raster data set. We're doing a lot of that, but we're probably not computing this. There's one or two tools I will show you. You will have that on the online component, but we're probably not doing this on a desktop, on the machine. If this would be marine bio or biology class, we would do this way more. Or terrain, geography, we would do this way more. You can process slope in this concept. You can actually visualize slope then. 3D data, ton of stuff done in the past. We're going to deal with a few elements. Today I show you one or two little things, and then 2 or 3 weeks, we're doing a mass and block diagram. So just in case you're in a site planning class, and we're going to do a site planning class model, we play with Lego blocks, which is kind of cool. But if you want to go away from taking pictures of your Lego blocks and you actually want to do this in a 3D animated world in GIS, we show you these examples here in the class. And it's like, whoa, could have shown us 2 weeks early. So this year, instead of week 7, we're doing it like in 3 or 4. Network data, I mentioned it earlier, service areas with travel time, nearest facility. The book is really focused on Allegheny County. Our network data work time is with business analyst online, particularly on drive time coverage. Within 10 minutes, how many people do we have? How many other restaurants do we have in 10 minutes drive time from our preferred location? That's what we are looking at. Service areas, think about logistics. Warehousing. I could do this in warehousing. And remember here now I have customers. Let's see a line. Customer, service center. Now this is an example for public pools. Something like this from the book. And you can see these are the locations of service centers and centers in general. And these are customers that are going to those locations. The only reason why I have lines in there is to visualize pretty much where is who going to. What's my drawing area? And real estate market analysis, you would call that market delineation. And the idea then how to steal away, let's make this so that you can see this in the video, how Mr. Sue Murray here, how we can steal market share across from others. And maybe even use the overcome that you actually have to pass the river here and steal that market. That's pretty much the introduction to visualization. Let's do some more applied. I told you about history. What happened on the 14th of April of 1912? Titanic. I never saw that movie with Leonardo, but She did not make it, sadly. Alright, so we all have seen this picture probably of the ocean liner. We also have seen some stories about it. Yeah? And the numbers. Also famous are the lifeboats pulling away. You just see the stern of the ship hitting there. Well, then you can do this in a different way. IBM used to have a really cool web page, Many Eyes, for visualization projects. This is a screenshot. It doesn't exist anymore. They did this on like Flash and other systems, and then with hacking and all that malware, they took this over. But you can see this in a different way. This is the survival on the Titanic by gender, female and male. Bubble charts as an example, aggregated over a few things. You can see now here, these are the group. Apologize for the small size on this group. Well, this is the bare minimum for referencing. So, but it's a screenshot. This is the group. Not survived, survived. Bottom line is survival. First class, second class, third class. Huh? You ever been on a cruise boat? What are the cabins you're doing? Well, I've never been on a cruise boat in Florida. So we have folks outside of Florida. Cruise boats are really big here in Florida. Huh? Where in the boat is the third class located? Very down. Where's the first class located?
Above sea level.
Above sea level. So if you think about, you hit an iceberg in the middle of the night, and you're sleeping right now. It will take certain time to get from certain places in the boat off the boat. So you can make some assumptions. I'm not saying this is the reason. Some assumptions based on the relative location and your class fare you paid. How many did survive and how many did not. Yeah? That's a really morbid way to look at this data of lost souls. It's cool for visualization, because if this would be interactive, you click on a button and it changes. Yeah? That's the same topic. Different visualization. Yeah? Public data pulled out, public data, put it in different brackets. Telling a little bit the story between the survivors and the death, but adult versus child, and unclear. So someone looked actually at the person's record and made a determination of the age and classified that information, classified that data into information differentiating child versus adult. Different story. Then someone took this other example, again, first class, second class, survived, sex, gender, mile, pretty much a combination of the two things you've seen before. I would expect this in Winwood, but not as a scientific approach of a very tragic event in the history. Yeah? I don't see.
I don't even understand.
I don't understand. Seriously. Thank you.
Like, where did you pull that from? Like somebody actually offered that as a graph?
Yeah, it's linked here. Look, here's the. Then there's story maps. As we did a few years ago, they started out with story maps. That's taken over and over and over and over. It's think about a story and how you can start telling the story about location and information. And this is really years ago.